Setting you guys in the tripod. Let's do is get everything set up. Sorry about that. I'm gonna do a live cut test today and get where I can see you guys' chat. Well, if it will tell me if I'm live or not, I gotta figure out a better system to this. Doing it. There we go. No.
Hey, what's up, people?
Hey, now we're in business.
Hey, now we're in business.
Let me know when you guys get in here. Somebody say something in the chat, then we'll start.
Let me know when you guys get in here. Somebody say something in the chat, then we'll start.
I wish I knew how to do this where the camera is horizontal.
I wish I knew how to do this.
Because, sorry about that feedback. I wish I knew how to do it where the camera was horizontal, because it would just work better. But I don't know how. It gives me the little tab to click to change the camera to horizontal, but when I do it, it doesn't do anything. And for those of you wanting to know, we're going to be doing Kubey Nova and D2. I got to be careful, and keep everything in frame here. Hey, we got a couple people. What's up, guys? Hey, Greg, how's it going, bro? Sorry I'm late. Planned on 9, but couldn't really get on until 9:30. Cut, chop is right. It's exactly what it's going to be. Alright, well, we got somebody in here, so we'll go ahead and get to it. I got a feeling this is going to be a lot of cutting. Greg, can you hear me okay? What's up, Justin? How you doing, bro? Can you guys hear me good? Okay, good. Thank you. Appreciate it, Greg. Alright, well, we got a few people in here, so let's go ahead and do it. Or get to it. I got a feeling this is going to be a lot of cutting. Kubey does good D2, and the geometry of this thing is going to cut for a minute. y'all chat while, or anything y'all want to talk about, drop in the chat, and I'll talk as I'm cutting. Sorry, I talk with my hands a lot. Can't help it. Oh, that geometry is so good. This thing cuts so nicely. Keep in mind, I'm cutting a very small part of the blade. I'm literally just push cutting with almost probably the same ½ inch or so. Tell you what, the term geometry cuts is very true. Because the difference between this and those thicker blades that I just cut test, holy cow. My favorite kubey, probably the Nova, actually. Like the titanium 14C Nova, that's a nice knife. I really wish they would do one of those in titanium and S90V. Yeah, exactly. Angle, geometry, and thickness, it's 100%. Spine thickness, behind the edge thickness, and edge angle. That controls it all. On both sides. Toughness. A lot of people don't understand. They see, people chipping these knives out, or not these knives, but any knives. They see them chipping them out, like hammering them through a nail or whatever. And they instantly blame the grind, or they instantly blame the poor heat treat. And in most cases, it's as simple as edge geometry. It's not always the case that, oh, it's a bad heat treat. Increase that edge angle a few degrees per side, and more than likely those chips wouldn't have happened. Hey, what's up, Dragoon? How you doing, bro? That was a fun chat we had last night, my man. And for anybody just getting in here, we're doing just a live cut test on a Kubey D2, the Nova. I should have checked this edge before I went to the next sheet, but I know that edge isn't even thinking about falling off. Still feels pristine. Kubey does D2 right. Yeah, exactly. D2 is still a great steel. It's just, you know, a lot of people hate on it. And if you go buy D2 from China from 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I get it. But in the past couple of years, China's figured it out, and kubey does really freaking good D2. Yeah, loadout. That I enjoyed that live very much. That kid needs to definitely do more lives. That was fun. Still beautiful. Oh yeah, we're looking good. We are looking good. And I'm keeping this, just so you guys know, you can actually see the hazing on the finish, but I'm keeping this cutting within there. So probably a little less than an inch of cutting edge. I don't like to tape the blade because it makes it just too dang hard. Makes it too hard to do the test if you don't slice it all. You know, you make any lateral movement and the tape will hang up, and it's just annoying. And I can cut consistently enough to keep it within an inch. Tell you what, this knife cuts so good with this model. Also, I didn't say, this knife is finished at 17 degrees per side, and it's on finished on a Atoma 600. My favorite steels are 154 cm and D2. Fiston and more getting a premium now lead towards this 3545. I'm not questioning it. You know, yeah, in the budget realm, yeah, for me it would be D2 is number 2 and 154 cm is number 1. 154 cm is a really great steel when it's done well. On the premium side of things, as far as a stainless, I'm going to go 100% S90V. And probably on the non-stainless side, I would probably go K294 or K390 or 10V. Would probably be what I would say are my favorite steels. Yeah, Van X is good stuff if you care about corrosion resistance. I personally don't, so you know, doesn't really mean a whole lot to me. Just like Magna Cut, I would prefer going with a steel that has good toughness and extreme wear resistance at the expense of corrosion resistance, because I just don't, corrosion, I never have an issue with it. But yeah, Van X is a great steel. Oh yeah, it's looking good steel. Beautiful. Paper stopped folding on me. Looking good. Yes, exactly. 14C is great. 14C is great stuff. To be honest, I'm just getting tired of it. The plus side is very easy for the companies to heat treat. They can run it a little harder without, having too much of a difference in manufacturing cost. I do wish companies would start running it at 62 or better. 62, 62, 63 would be ideal. I don't think we're going to see that, but if they did, and they should do it with Nitro V as well. That wouldn't put them in a situation to require cryo. 62 to 63 is easily done with those two steels. It would significantly increase the performance. But yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's just so flooded with that it's kind of killed it for me. It's a great steel, or a great budget steel, but I don't know. It's time for something else. I don't believe it'll be too long, and we'll start seeing S35BN become the new 14C. I believe that will be the new premium budget steel. I mean, it's already that way to some extent now. You can buy S35 knives for probably around $60. Most of the steels on the market need, yes, exactly. You could pretty much go along the line and point at any steel from any China manufacturer, and 2 points would bring it up into an optimal range. Yes. Yeah, CPN 154 is a good steel. I love 154 CM, RWL 34, ATS 34. Those are all fantastic steels. I've said it for a long time, but the only problem I have with CPM 154 is, and other steels like it, they're so fine grained that you take them even to 600 grit and they're already starting to glass over. If you leave it coarse, like 400 grit, 320, they're great. Those super fine grained steels, if you take them up in grit range, you're going to have a glassy edge. But if you like very, very keen, if you like your steel to take an extremely keen edge, CPM 154 is great. It just won't have much bite. I really miss the days when Outpost 76 did his cut testing. That's why I chose to do it in this format. I really wish he would post more. That guy was a true gem of the community, and provided, him and Cliff Stamp, and provided a lot of information to people to keep them from wasting money. Let's see. Is that a 3 or 4 finger? Oh, okay. I made a trade for my first sparrow today. Really good look. hand. Mine has a great drop shot action. The mic card and black wash are awesome. It's cool, guys. The Sparrow, I'm not familiar with that. What brand? Who makes it? Oh yeah, this edge still feels beautiful. Not even a slight catch yet. It's a good 3.5. Greg, who makes that? The Sparrow, I'm not familiar with that. Yeah, that's one thing about kubeys. They always have drop shot actions. Well, not guillotines, but butter smooth, even on the $30 knives. I love kubey. Kaiser Sparrow. Okay. Yeah, I've seen that model before. So, Justin, what do you think about them kicking TikTok for a few hours and then bringing it back? That really tickled me. I couldn't believe it at midnight when I went to get on and it was closed. I figured for sure they would have some type of extension. I would have been very, very surprised if it stayed down for very long. And then a few hours later, it's back up. I was like, what the heck? I knew it wouldn't be long, but I didn't expect it to be that short. Yeah, exactly. Definitely 100%. Couldn't agree more, Justin. Could not agree more. That was 100% in your face. Like, that's exactly what that was. Like, I knew that a company that something that's creating that much revenue, there's no way it's just going to go away. Not to mention too many people that's making their living on there. Yeah, just not. It couldn't happen. I mean, I expected it to maybe be a week or two, or a few days, but I knew it couldn't be long. Just more distracting. Yeah. Well, that's the case always. Always distracting. It's as the world we live in. Yeah, exactly. There's way too many people in the United States that make a living on that app. That would create a serious problem. Those people probably don't have platforms just to jump over to another platform and pick up, right where they left off. It would literally put them out of business. And come on, they can't do that. I mean, they could, but they're not gonna. Sorry, I had to get something to drink. Edge is still looking beautiful. Not even a slight hang up. Damn it. I'm pretty sure this V2 is going to cut nearly double of what ACR 440 cut, maybe more. Like, I'm surprised that I don't even feel a teeny. I can't feel any catches. I can't feel any catches yet. No catches at all. And again, I'm keeping the cutting right here. You can see the shading. Yeah, I'll tell you, I'm probably making more cuts on this because of the thinner geometry. So normally it's around 55 cuts. 50, well, I'd say about 48 to 55, somewhere in there. This is feeling more like over 60. Or around 60. There's definitely a couple more cuts because I can get closer together because of the thin geometry. Oh yeah, looking good. No catches at all. That was me. Yeah, looking good. Just out of curiosity, let's see about how many this is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64. Yeah, 64. So it's about 8 to 10 more than typically. It's definitely more than with the thicker knives that I can't get the cuts as close together on. I go count each board after the cut test because, you know, they fluctuate, but usually, believe it or not, it's consistent. It's typically within 3. Alright, actually, let's check that edge. Yeah, still feels good. It really is impressive that we can get knives that perform this good for so little money nowadays. Like, it really is impressive. you know, people complain like crazy about, oh, it's D2 or it's this, but my God, do they know how made they have it to be able to go buy knives that perform this good for sometimes $27 shipped on White Mountain Knives? 10 years ago, you wasn't doing that. 10 years ago, $40 China knives were terrible. I mean, not literally, but they wasn't very good. You know, I just started TikTok like not very long ago, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago. My daughter's been trying to get me to do it for a long time, but I don't know, I just didn't do it until just recently. And I'll tell you, I was shocked when I got on there, and it's either it's either like QVC, a whole bunch of channels of the Home Shopping Network, or girls selling their OnlyFans. Like, I was like, what the hell is this? It's truly baffling. Like, it's all it is it's literally like QVC. You can buy a bathtub cleaner. You can also buy digital ass too. I mean, I get it. That's everywhere. But I'm not saying it negatively. I just thought it was funny. Personally, after spending a little bit of time on it, I think TikTok's pretty damn cool. Bucks are still 60 to 70 more for upgradable. Yeah. I bought a couple days after Thanksgiving. I bought a Buck 722 Spitfire from the custom shop. I did Magna Cut and marbled carbon. $160. I mean, so it's when you look at those materials, you know, I guess that's about right, you know. But yeah, they are about $60 to $70 if you go the upgraded route, or in the production upgraded route. Yeah, it's around 50 probably over the standard models on most of them. I think their custom shop's pretty cool though. I'm not a big Buck fan. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like Buck knives, but I do not think it's cool that they're using, like for a 110 example, you know, I mean, $70 for that knife and you're getting 420 HC, and that stuff just performs terrible. It really does. Like, I mean, yeah, it's tough, but man, it just has crap edge retention. It's better, you know, theirs is better than most 420C, but or 420HC, but 420HC in general just isn't any good. Hang on, I'll be right back. Sorry about that. And I really do want to see Buck. I want to see Buck do good. I want to see Buck come back to making performance knives like they did years ago, and not just trying to sell as many knives as they can at big box stores. One little piece of it. When that paper tears, it will tear you up. Do any of you watch Outpost 76 or used to watch them, or you ever heard of them? Yeah, I agree. That's it for me too. Like buying a 110, that would be sentimental only. You know, I've got a couple of them, but you know, that was just because I found them at Walmart on clearance for the gift tins, and I would never pay full price for them. Yeah, not for a $110. It's a knife I would never carry. They're too heavy. They don't perform that good. Most of them have, you know, look how many buck 110s have broken tips if they've actually been used. It's just, I don't know, for that much pocket weight, the performance is nowhere near what I'm gonna expect out of a pocket knife. Just not gonna happen. They need to. Their old 440C was done quite good. And it performed a lot better than that 420 does. Like, it really does perform a lot better than that 440 does. Exactly, Greg. Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like, there's plenty of materials that are priced in a way that wouldn't really force them to have to change prices very much. I mean, for example, AEBL. If you go to your steel bearings and you look up the cost of AEBL and you look up the cost of 420 HC, they're about the same. AEBL is very easy steel to work with. And if they run that stuff around 62, they would have a tremendous performance increase over a 420 HC as far as edge retention, and still have great toughness, good stainlessness. And I mean, even if they had to raise the price, $5 or $10 a knife, they shouldn't, but if they did, come on. I mean, don't you want to give your customers high performance? Like, that's what I would want to do. But I think at this point they're building to a cost because the big box stores are their business model. It's where they're selling the vast majority of their knives at. And now it's just sticking with what's sold, and not worrying about performance. That piece was 62. Yeah, it is. It's surprisingly consistent. Like it'll be within a few. Each board, unless I have a board like roll or something on me to where I can't take it to the end. But yeah, it's consistent. This is going to be a lot of counting tonight. See, when it does that, it messes me up. When it's got that little piece of loose paper. Let's see, all the materials available, exactly. I mean, I love to sharpen, and I really don't care. I really don't care how quickly a knife dulls if I can get it back to a sharpener before I have to use it. I love sharpening, but I don't want to be cutting with a dull knife. D2, from Kubey. An itty bitty catch. There's an itty bitty catch there. Not enough to tear, but an itty bitty catch. Oh. Yeah, that was my finger. Yeah, there's an itty bitty catch formed now. Not enough to tear, but the edge is definitely starting to degrade some. I can barely feel them with my nail. I'd say it's got another 4 or 5 in it probably. I actually can't feel the edge degrade any while cutting the cardboard. It still feels like it did at cut one. Nice, it took almost 400 cuts. Yeah, exactly, almost 400 cuts just to start to catch, and I can barely feel them. Like that 420 HC I just did, by 100 feet, it was already worse than this. Yeah, there is some deformation happening, but it's very minor. It's not even the paper's not even getting frays on it, you know, fraying from where the fibers lift up. So the catches are not bad at all. Yeah. This edge still got plenty of life left in it. And you know, why I tell people all the time when they're hating on D2, I'm telling you, give kubey D2 a try. It's so freaking good. Like, you get a lot of performance out of that stuff for not much money. And these are, you know, this is almost all push cutting. So I'm focusing that wear on a very small portion of that blade. There's still very minor catches. I think a lot of cut testing don't bring into account the heat. Yeah, absolutely. That is a huge part of it. Think about how teeny that apex is. You know, not the width of the bevel, but just the actual cutting apex. As you're pushing through that abrasive media, you are getting the actual apex quite hot. Like, this blade is warm right now and it's cold in here. That, you know, that's just from heat being absorbed into the blade. But yes, that cutting apex takes more heat than most people realize. Like, run your finger over a piece of cardboard like that, and you know, on a small, like on your knuckle, it'll burn you. And that super thin piece of steel that's doing the cutting most definitely gets heat. You know, it's being fatigued from heat for sure. Hey, how's it going, New Zealand? Appreciate you being here, bro. New Zealand's such a pretty country. Yeah, edge is beautiful still. My God, this is a lot of cutting. Like, I wanted to do a live with Maximet or 15B or 10B, but I just don't think that's going to be possible. It would literally be it'd be 10 hours long. I'm going to have to do that into a video and then compress it down to like 30 minutes by speeding it up. Yeah, that edge is still plenty sharp. The catches aren't even, they're no more than they was. They haven't gotten any worse, that's for sure. That's impressive. Look at that. That's crazy. And people complain about D2. I'll never understand it. I mean, yeah, I do understand it. Back when you was getting crap D2 from China 5 or 6 years ago, yeah, I get it. It was bad. But nowadays, most companies are doing it good. Hang on, I got a cat trying to break into the shop. One sec. Freaking outside cats, they do everything they can to get in here. I do believe this will go over 1,000 feet. I really do. And I'm keeping that, I'm keeping that cut range tight. It's no more than an inch. And I will say, a lot of this is making sure you have a very well finished edge. Hey. Okay. And it's still good, but it's starting to want to catch. Starting to want to catch. Still cutting though. Yep. Maybe 2 more boards. Something like that. Maybe even 3. would be surprised what a perfectly formed edge and perfectly formed apex will do for your edge retention. A lot of people, you know, they just go off of the factory edge and it's terrible. You know, or not necessarily terrible, but the performance is not there. You know, you get that knife on its third or fourth edge where you're in good steel, and if you do your job by forming, you know, a nice crisp apex, you just get so much more performance than you ever would have got on that factory edge. And that's why I tell people, hey, don't ever judge your nice performance off of that factory edge, because it's a waste of time. Yeah, the catches are definitely becoming more pronounced. Still cutting though. Yeah, still slicing cleanly. It is starting to create some, you know, lift some fibers up though. Yeah. That is an impressive, you know, it's still got more in it, but that's an impressive amount of cutting for what is a $27 knife. You know what's really crazy? This edge right now where I'm cutting is still sharper than most people's kitchen knives. Yeah, I can definitely feel the nicks getting heavier or deeper. Wow, I cannot believe that. Alright. It's close. It is close. But still cutting. I do believe this is the last one. I think this one will do it. What's really crazy is that I cannot tell any difference in the cutting between the start and now. Woo, it's close. It's close. It is close. I think we're going to call it. I think we're going to call it. That should be it. Let's see. Double check it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Good. All right, that is it. Whew, that's going to be a lot of cutting. Counting. I actually lost count of the board, so I don't even have no idea where we're at. But I'll tell you this, that is going to be a lot of counting. That felt like easily 800, 900 feet. So you guys want to chat? What's up, Greg? Welcome back, bro. That right here, that ended it. She's catching now. Just barely. Just barely. It's almost pushing through it without tearing. But see, that one didn't tear, but that one didn't tear either, but it is catching. See it? Just caught there. Caught there. Caught there. Yeah. I wish I would have kept track of the boards just to have an idea where I'm at, but that's got to be 800, 900 feet. ADHD about had me at the walls. I had lost on a few shorts and friends. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that was a lot of cutting. That was. I don't know if I'm gonna count it up all stream, and then I'll add it onto the. I'll take and put this video and speed it up, and then put the actual number on the end of that video. Because it's gonna take me an hour to count all that. Anything y'all want to talk about? Any questions y'all got? You know, I agree. For me, I'm the kind of person that I don't really care too much for shorts, believe it or not. If I'm gonna watch a video, I want it to at least be 5-10 minutes. Because in shorts you can't condense enough. I don't care about like. I want the videos that I watch to have some type of information value to me. And you just can't condense a 30-second video and put enough information in it to make me want to view it. I don't really watch for entertainment. I watch for information, if that makes sense. Yeah, I much prefer longer form content. Now my kids, my God, if it's more than 10-15 seconds, they're on to something else. Like it's kind of insane, actually. Let me pick this stuff up just to show how much where we're at, how much that was. Damn, that was a lot of cutting. Like I said, I wanted to do a Maximet live, but that just ain't gonna work. If I do a Maximet live, it's gonna be like an 8-hour stream. Maybe even longer than that. Like it will be insane. Oh, this is 1,000 feet for sure. Oh, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Oh yeah, this is definitely. Hell, there's probably 300 feet or 200 feet of missed cuts like these, where I slipped out. Good Lord, that's a lot of cutting. Well, I'll tell you what, next time somebody says D2 is garbage, look at that. And that's in that big of a cut section of the cutting edge right there. That is freaking insane. And that's the stuff, you know, I think these normally are $40, but you can get them on sale all the time at what, 27 shipped at White Mountain Knives. That's why I say, dude, Kubey's killing it. Kubey is absolutely killing it. Their D2's good, their 14C's good, their AUS8's or their AUS10's good. Their S30V's good, their S90V's good. Their M390's decent. Yeah, exactly. $30 Theodore. I'm pretty sure these back were around 27 with the 25% off and then a YouTuber code. Kubey is awesome, no doubt about it. They're kicking ass. They really are. And you know, they really, every time I cut, use one of these knives from them, it blows me away that these are budget knives nowadays, and that they can do that good of a job for that little money. You know, and like I said, this edge right here is still way sharper than the average person's kitchen knife. Any kitchen knives they have. Like, yeah, it's not going to shave, but it's still plenty sharp. This doesn't even think about needing to be sharpened, and it'll strop right back. I can strop it back probably within a minute to shaving again for sure. You know, and that's just that section. I still have all this of pristine cutting edge. They are well built. Their actions are good. Their detents are dialed in correctly. Their lockup is always on point. Their grinds are good. Their edges, their factory edge bevels are consistent. They use good G10 on their budget knives, not that cheap G10. This is good stuff, much like what Spyderco uses on their China line knives. It's good quality G10. And they're doing that for really low money. And yeah, they're knocking it out the park. I don't know what else to say. They're just kicking ass. You know, and their high-end knives or higher-end knives, they're doing a ridiculously good job on them too for the money. I mean, come on, you can get S90V and titanium, titanium frame lock from them for $150, $170, and that is a very well done knife. And that S90V is done very well too. You know, is it going to be Spyderco's S90V? No, but I'll tell you what, it's like my Jack Wolf, my Jack Wolf and S90V. I believe the Kubey S90V is done better than it is. So, are they doing a better job on S90V than Riyadh is? I believe so. And at 50% the cost. I love Slockmaster. His videos are awesome. It's crazy what that dude's done with the frickin' blowgun. Taking damn, Black Bear at 5 foot from him with the blowgun. That's insane. And those spears, like, oh my god, when watching him hog hunt with those spears, it is gnarly, dude. That is gnarly. Like I've shot deer with raised broadheads on a bow, and yeah, it makes a mess, but if it's a good shot. But good God, what those spears do. The blood loss is freaking insane. So it's gnarly to watch it, actually. And I'm not a weak, I hunt. I've killed plenty of deer, plenty of pigs. I don't have a weak stomach by any means, but man, watching him hit them with them spears and just the gushing, it's kind of rough to watch. Cut paper sometimes. I don't have any. Yeah, I totally agree. With a good crispy edge, setting and slicing paper is fun. The sound it makes is therapeutic. The feel of it is like back here at this really clean edge. Oh, that's so nice. I love that sound. Right up here. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, receipt paper does well. Receipt paper cuts really smoothly. Believe it or not, my favorite thing to cut, to just set and cut, is, believe it or not, cheap printer paper, like 8 pound printer paper, because it'll have this kind of waxiness like receipt paper does, but it's thin, and the knife just really glides through it super smoothly, and the sound, yeah, that if you can find it, they sell it at like Dollar General. And it'll just be like 8 pound printer paper. Get you some of that stuff, and once you cut it, you won't like, it's awesome. If you like cutting receipt paper, you'll really like cutting that. Hold on, I think I got it. Hold on. Well, I was looking to see if I had the label. I don't. Anyways, this is it. It's just very, very thin printer paper, really cheap stuff, and like, I don't know. It's just, like, yeah, it's I love cutting this stuff. It sounds so good. And it's cheap, so if you cut a bunch of it up, it don't cost you much money. But for the test, I like to do newspaper, just for the simple fact that it shows edge damage quicker and gives you a more, doing it with printer paper, like 20 pound printer paper, doesn't give you a very accurate representation of what's happening to the edge. A knife can be quite dull, and if you know what you're doing, you can still make it cleanly slice through printer paper. You can't do that with newspaper. If there's a catch, it's gonna show it. Not to mention, if I was using printer paper, this stack would be a whole lot higher than that. Newspaper, phone book paper. Hell, I wish I could use phone book paper, but I don't know how to get phone books anymore. I really wish I had some phone books. Yeah. I'll get some paper towels and do them too. as long as you got tension, believe it or not, as long as you got tension on the paper towel, it's not that hard. You got to have a really good edge to do it, but it's not that hard to do. When it's free hanging, that's when it's a whole different ball game. And another thing, I'll tell you a secret. With paper towel cutting, a lot of it depends on the paper towels themselves. If you use stiff, cheap paper towels, they cut very easily. You use the premium, like quilted stuff, like Cottonelle, I think it's called, or something like that. Use good paper towels, and that's where it really takes a perfect edge to be able to slice it cleanly. Like a lot of, when you're cutting paper towels, a lot of it, or to get it to crisply, cleanly slice paper towels, a lot of that is not, if you over polish the edge, it won't do it. You've got to have bite to cut paper towels. So like a perfect edge to cut paper towels with would be like a Veneve F400. And then, a little stropping on, say, some 1 micron, but very few passes, just to bring that keenness up a little bit, but not to over polish that edge. You start to polish those teeth off, and it will not slice paper towels. It'll do the cheap ones, but not the good ones. You don't have a strop? Man, that's as important as the knife is, in my opinion. It's amazing what a strop and a good diamond emulsion will do for you. Like here, I'll show you. Just a simple piece of basswood. And, I've got 12 micron, 6 micron, 4 micron, 2 micron. Watch how quick I can bring this edge back out. I'll just go into 12 micron. You already get you a piece of basswood. Basswood or balsa works really nicely. So does leather, but basswood, a piece of basswood does really good because you can use a little more pressure. Now watch. I guarantee you there's no hang up in this edge now. Look at that, back to push cutting. That quick, back to push cutting. There's still a little catch in it, but not much. Yeah, just that quick, and that edge is not shaving. Actually, that might shave. No, not going to shave, but close. And I did it. If I spent a little bit of time, yes, it would absolutely come back to shaving. Yeah, the 400, 800, the dog series stones. Hey, you know what? don't think those Lansky turn boxes, like those things are capable of getting quite good edges. I mean, for a quick system that, yes, you can get quite good edges off those. A little bit of stropping, I probably could get I probably could get it to whittle hair off of a turn box. Let's say, like, the turn box and maybe some 1 micron or 3 or 1 micron on a strop, couple passes, that probably could get it to whittle hair. That good. You just gotta be cautious of the steel that you're using, but because remember that is an alumina abrasive, so you got to keep that in mind. But for any simple steels or anything that doesn't really have very much vanadium or tungsten carbide, and that's not over, say, about 64 HRC, yes, you can absolutely get pretty damn good edges off those turn boxes. Spyderco Sharp Maker, another one. Like, it's not hard to get hair whittling edges off of a Sharp Maker. But you really need to get you a strop. Just get you, man, even if you don't buy compound for strop at a slight pressure on. Yeah, I mean, you can do that. It's technically doing the same thing. But at the same time, it's not, as where on a strop, you're really bringing out the keenness of the edge, and you're not particularly cutting in new micro serrations, as where on the rod, even if you're using very light pressure, you are cutting in new serrations. I thought even soft raw leather would help. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I love leather strops too, don't get me wrong, but I like basswood strops for touch-ups because you can use more pressure. And if I'm trying to get the keenest edge, then no, I'm not going to use basswood. Basswood's great for polishing, and basswood is great for restoring edges. And if you want maximum keenness, then yes, a piece of kangaroo leather, or a very high quality cow leather, down to like 1 micron, and then if you go below 1 micron, you definitely want to go to kangaroo leather. That's going to get you the maximum amount of keenness, without pulling out too much bite. But if you're stropping on a piece of basswood, you're gonna polish very, very quickly, and doing it on basswood, it will pull out some of the bite of the edge, but it polishes very quickly. The reason I use it to bring back edges, again, is because I can put more pressure without having to worry about, the distortion of the leather rolling over and either slightly convexing, or if you use too much pressure, cutting the edge off. When you're doing it on basswood, you can put a lot of pressure and bring that edge back really quickly. Actually, here, let me say that. Just a minute. Let's see if I can get it to come back to shaving. I'll run it across the progression and see if I can get it back to shaving. See, if I was on leather, I couldn't use this much pressure, and it would definitely slow me down. See if that come back to shaving. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, easily. Sorry, I got dry skin. Can't help it. It's cold, but easily shaving. Easily shaving that quick. And that edge has still got good bite. Yeah, I'm fixing to call it, bro. I gotta count all this and get a video made. Yeah, basswood like the fish. BASS. You can buy it at any craft shop. You can buy it on Amazon. That and some diamond emulsion, and you're in business. It's really it really makes for. It's probably the best strop media to bring back edges, specifically because of the pressure thing. All right, guys. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get all this counted, and then I'll condense this video into like a 5-minute video by speeding it up, and the actual cut test results will be at the end of it. Thank y'all for coming and hanging out with me. This was fun. I appreciate you spending an hour and a half. Yeah. I genuinely appreciate it, and it was nice talking to y'all. All right, guys, y'all have a good night, and I'll chat at you later.